Good afternoon again, everyone. It's David Thomas, archivist at Cornwall Record Office. A Monday afternoon session today of David's dazzling documents. Sometimes we get the more unusual archives in our collections, and one of the ones that fall into that category is on the table in front of me today. Let's have a look. And at first glance, it might seem to be a rather tatty document. It's suffered somewhat from damp, but this is actually a list of the pupils and the kindergarten children and also the governors of the Truro County School for Girls that once stood next to us here at the Cornwall Record Office. The site is now occupied by the shop of Sainsbury's, which many of you will know. But before that, in 1925, this large granite school building was constructed. And underneath it, underneath the foundation stone, was placed a time capsule, which is this glass vessel that we can see on the table. And within it was a scroll of all of these names that all of the pupils signed in 1925 before it was placed underneath the foundation stone. If we have a look carefully at the capsule, you can see that it was sealed with a type of wax, and then the documents were placed in there. In 1993, the school was demolished and the capsule was recovered from underneath the foundation stone, and the contents were brought here to the Cornwall Record Office for permanent preservation. They'd suffered a little from damp, but they have been repaired, and we have the names that are still visible. For instance, over here we have a list of the school governors, and I see that one of the governors was the famous Arthur Quiller Couch. And of course, there's further down we have Mr. Vinter, who was the headmaster of the boys' school, the Wesleyan College, as it was then here in Truro itself. We also have the names of all the girls and some of the kindergarten boys as well who signed the scroll. We have some good Cornish names. We've got Ingrams, we've got Jameses, we've got Bowdens, Brewers. Looks like they signed in alphabetical order. The Endines, who are local here to Truro area. The Gribbles. And down under the kindergarten section, we can see Jean Baker, Kay Davy, Arthur Good, Mary Gourd, Billy Hoskins, Teddy Oliver, Dory or Jory Radcliffe, Kathleen Thrall, and Donald Vage, who of course kept the jeweller's shop here in Truro at one time. And just looking over into the centre, where it's quite badly damaged, we've got the Tamblins, the Teagues, and the Tiddies, and the Toys, and the Truscotts, all good local Cornish names. It's one of the most unusual records that we have here in the county archives at Truro. Just think about how we will have to package all of this material in readiness for our intended move to our new site at Redruth. And the record office will close on the 1st of September 2018 to do that. And we will open on our new site next year. Just think perhaps as well about what is under some of the other foundation stones of our Cornish buildings, of schools and chapels and churches and colleges and other public buildings. It bodes the fascinating question, what did they bury? And you may like to find out more about that if you know the date of the building by looking at our newspaper collection presently at the Cornish Studies Library at Redruth, and of course that will become part of Crescent Kerno next year. Happy research and happy hunting on Cornish buildings.